She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy gazpacho.
Bournemouth can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Right, did you know that Arsenal died?
These got me puzzled.
Up the topies. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. Ooh, welcome back to another episode of Footy with the Boys. Mike, don't you dare. He is not great at
Chucha
pronouncing
madre.
football names. And I don't know if you can say that on YouTube. We are off to a hot start. Hot start to this pod. We have a lot to talk about. We have some big previews to get through. Obviously, we have our big title race between Arsenal and Man City to talk about. We also have some other big matchups with just big names in the Premier League. But boys, we start with the news of Barcelona, or as Mike used to call it, on theme, Barca. Mike has a way with pronunciations. Xavi has announced that he is staying. Apparently, Laporta got him into a room, talked to him, and said, please stay, Xavi. We really need you to stay. And he decided to just listen to it after he was bitching and moaning about how insanely stressful and tough it is. And then Barcelona starts playing better. He gets begged to come back, and here he is being like, all right, fuck it. I guess the stress is not as bad when you're thinking you're on the way out the door. Mike, this is your club here. What are you thinking of the semi-bitch move to say, yeah, I'm out. This is too stressful. And then be like, you know what, actually, I'm back.
I don't know, man. This seems like a toxic relationship. I'm leaving. I'm staying. They want me to go. They want me to stay. Who really knows?
I'm fucking leaving.
I like Xavi as a figure. I mean, can't take that away from him. I was comfortable. I was happy to kind of see him go when he said he was leaving, restart. But now that he's staying, if he could change his attitude, the way he talks about the club, focus more on the actual team and things he can control, good. But I don't want to see another year of, what happened this season. Just too much focus off the field is never a good thing, and Barcelona's got a long ways to go in many departments.
You heard it here first. Xavi's got a great figure, according to one Mike Tracy.
A great figure for sure.
Heard it here first.
I mean, look,
Nick, it's not common that
man.
a manager would say, this is too stressful, I don't want to do this job anymore, and then be asked back. That seems like you're cutting some ties, and a president of a club might be like, okay, fuck this guy, are you serious? But Barcelona, we do need to remember, they have zero money. So their next coach they were going to be hiring is probably just an academy coach they already have, or somebody they can get on the low. So is this more so just, shit, if Xavi can stay, and we keep him at the same rate, and we don't have to look for another manager, let's just beg him to stay. Is that what you see going on here, or do they truly need Xavi here as the guiding grace of Barcelona?
Yeah, I don't hate where you're coming from. I myself enjoy reading tea leaves. Here is what I see is going on. I think Xavi's playing some games, a little hard to get, maybe. I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think his team hasn't been performing. Like you said, a lot of outward blame to the situation, to the environment of the club, yada, yada. And so he said, you can't fire me because I'm leaving. And then he's like, I'm not coming back. And Laporta said, oh, come on, come back here. And I think this was in the plans all along. Even if he left, it is Barca, money or not, they were going to get another deal. They weren't going to get a youth academy coach to be their guy. They would have gotten a hire somewhere. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that this is now who we know Xavi to be, when we could have just remembered him as that majestic midfielder for Barcelona and for Spain and all that success. So yeah, it's not a great look, but he's back. And rumor on the street, Footy with the Boys exclusive, Jurgen Klopp next.
Klopp, yeah. I'm sure that they've been begging him for a
No
while
shot.
to stay.
I got sources.
Yeah. It's just Sam and his wet dreams of what Liverpool can do.
We're actually
They're
in
fucked. We
talks.
need to ask him back.
We're in talks to get Klopp on the pod as well.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we will secure Klopp, so keep watching. Subscribe if you want Klopp on the pod. Subscribe and like if you want Klopp to join us here, and we will make it happen. We do have some other big names, not just Klopp, Xavi. We have some actual teams, Bayern and Real Madrid. Certainly a lot of big names between those two. They draw 2-2. Real Madrid went out in front early. Toni Kroos is just a
Class
act. Just a beautiful pass into Vinny to get it started. Leroy Sané, dynamite. Cuts in from the left, just nails one in to get the leveler. Then Harry Kane with a penalty puts Bayern in the lead. But it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. They're never gonna lose in the Champions League. So they come back with a penalty of their own. Vinny puts it away. Gets a 2-2 draw here. Bayern had a lot of control. Bayern looked somewhat like they should have won this game. I say somewhat because it is still Real Madrid, so I never fully would vote against them. But I'm like, where the hell was this Bayern team in the Bundesliga? And is this just Real Madrid style? They're just gonna kind of sit back and wait till they can break you on the counter and be clinical as hell to get their 2 goals? Because I mean, it ends 2-2, but Bayern really should maybe feel like they left something on the table here at home.
Yeah, I can't tell you where this Bayern's been all season. They've looked pretty good in Champions League, and then in the league, really subpar. To your question about Real Madrid, yeah, I don't think they're too concerned about letting another team have some possession. They know that they can really hurt the team just in critical moments. It's exactly what they did this game. But Bayern should feel like they left this game out there, left 3 points there, because they had a lot of chances. Harry Kane had a lot of chances that if he was just a little bit more clinical, had a sharper first touch on a few occasions, he could have scored. He didn't make it hard enough for Lunin on several shots. But Real Madrid, they're going to hang in there. I think they'll be pretty happy with a 2-2 result, knowing that they have to play the second leg at the Bernabeu. It's a tall task for Bayern. My money's on Madrid.
Yeah, I think it's hard to not put your money on Madrid in the Champions League. Nick, I am an avid Tuchel hater. He has been a terrible manager for a while. What the hell is it in the Champions League? In league play, this man is an imbecile. Can't get his team to score, can't get his team to do stuff. And in the Champions League, he won it with Chelsea, and then is now with Bayern, where they look less than stellar in the Bundesliga, where they usually absolutely roll the competition, and now they beat Arsenal. They're drawing with Real Madrid and feel like they maybe should have won. What the hell is going on here? Is Tuchel just a Champions League whisperer?
He's 100% a tournament manager. That's for sure. That Chelsea team was good. I don't know if they're good enough to win the Champions League. And he did wonders with them. His league form has never looked amazing, but he's always done well in European competitions. Feels like he was born to be a national team manager, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
imagine getting him in a Euros. I bet he'd make it at least to a semi, I feels like. So, with a somewhat competent team. I think we're jaded by a lot of his league form, specifically with Bayern this year. He's made interesting rotational decisions, specifically in that back line. So, that he has maybe not the best squad management, but I don't think you need the best squad management when you're talking about tournaments, which again shows why he excels in that area. So, yeah, I mean, Bayern is heritage. I very famously advocated that I wanted Arsenal to play Bayern. Got proven wrong there, and Bayern is looking very strong here up against Real Madrid. I thought Trace was right. I thought they were the better side. Leroy Sané, I think we just forgot about him because he's in Germany and we don't watch him week in, week out anymore, but cooked Arsenal through 2 legs and looked electric this game too. He is something else. They have, I think maybe just because they haven't been able to get it done, we've been like, okay, Bayern just doesn't have the players to get it done. Some of these players are for real, bro. Yeah. Sane,
players. They have
Musiala, and
crazy
Gnabry
talent.
is a nuts attacking three right there. Tossing Mueller, whoever else you want up top.
Musiala does
you
not
got
get the
something.
press that he needs because he is saucy as hell. That man could dribble his way out of a fucking. I don't even fucking know. Like, that man has that ball on a string.
Nasty.
Musiala is one of the
He
most
certainly
fun players
outplayed
to watch.
Bellingham today, and that's Starboy versus Starboy, childhood friends against each other. Definitely could comfortably say that Musiala won the first matchup. We'll see what they do in the second.
Bellingham's
fun
been
fact.
kind of like absent in the Champions League. Playing well in the La Liga, but
Yeah.
He got gassed today.
Yeah, 60 minutes he was taken off.
Yeah.
Said he was feeling some type of discomfort, so that's why he was taken off. Ancelotti said after the game. Fun fact, Yunus Musa in youth English camps was actually the captain of the squad that included Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, and Jamal
Stop.
Musiala. So
No one cares.
and Madueke.
Here's
If
Yunus.
anybody's Yunus Musa, our star boy. Boys, we do have another game in the Champions League tomorrow. It is Dortmund versus PSG, another German team in the Champions League semifinals here. You'd say that PSG are strong favorites here. Is this Kylian Mbappe's Ballon d'Or shout? If he wins the Champions League this year, is it his first Ballon d'Or guaranteed, Mike?
Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's got a really good chance. I'd like to see Dortmund go through the final, but I think PSG's quite a bit stronger, and they've already played each other several times in the group stage of the competition, and PSG were able to get the better of them. This is a huge opportunity for Dortmund, though. First leg at home, Signal Iduna, put up a few goals, and anything could happen.
Yeah, and Nick, it's almost the same thing with Dortmund that we say about Bayern. In league play, they have not been great. They're probably not going to qualify for Champions League next year. So this will be their real shot to make Champions League. They've done well in the tournament, done very poor in a lot of their league games. What Dortmund do you think comes out here? That crowd is going to be going absolutely crazy, but do they just simply have enough to take down somebody with the attacking talent of Kylian Mbappe?
Yeah, no. I don't think it matters what Dortmund comes out. To be fair, I haven't been super locked in on PSG. So I know they have the Kolomuani guy from the summer window, and he's been having a good year. I know they have a younger but still more solid midfield there. They should just have overall more talent. Yeah, we've seen it play out in the group stage already. It feels like PSG should be able to walk to the final, and if not, then what an indictment. They already kind of did blow it up, but I don't know where you go from there if you can't get to the final here.
Yeah, honestly, it's Mbappe's last season. It's been reported about a billion different times that he's signed with Real Madrid. So if it doesn't happen now, it's not happening in the near future for PSG, because this is your last shot with the world superstar at the moment with Kylian Mbappe. So yeah, it's now or never for PSG. Dortmund will think this is one of their lone chances as well. This is not going to be something they'll even have the shot at next year, most likely, unless Leipzig have some type of fall apart here at the end of their season. But boys, we will get into the Premier League now, and we have some heavyweight fights coming up this week. We have Liverpool versus Tottenham. Liverpool, as amazing as they've been this season, not in good form. Dropped 4 points out of the last possible 6, including a loss to rival Everton. They found themselves pretty much out of that title fight, but obviously it's Klopp's last season. You want to send him out with a bang. Tottenham going to be fighting tooth and nail for a Champions League spot. They need every point they can get at this point. What do you see coming out at this one? It's at Anfield. Tottenham, if they want Champions League, it's now or never. Liverpool, maybe not playing with that same urgency.
Liverpool have 5 points out of their last 15. That is a bad run in for a title fight right there. That is tough to see right there, especially compared to the other two. Yeah, rough. Tottenham, isn't in that much better form. 7 points out of their last 15, so nothing crazy there. Tottenham need it more, but you can't convince Liverpool they're out of it. They're still going to think that they have a shot, although it's definitely growing more and more distant. Even an Arsenal loss doesn't really get you back to where you need to be at this point. So, yeah, I mean, Tottenham need it more. I do believe it's at Anfield. I could be wrong there. I'm pretty sure it's at Anfield. So I think that, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, this might be fraud watch for Anfield. Like they might be on the hot seat here. There's been some criticism there in the past of only getting up for big games. Now, as you're mostly out of the title race, there's friction amongst you and your star player and your manager. You know, are you going to show up? Are you going to get behind the team in a game that still means a lot, but they have 2 games left after this, and they're going to need a lot of help to get anywhere near a title. So Tottenham need it way more. They have 2 games in hand on Villa, but even if they win both of those, they're still a point behind. They can't afford another slip up in this run-in. They got killed by Newcastle not long ago. They lost to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a game of 2 teams that have disappointed here in the last 8 games of the season, really 6 games of the season, maybe. So we'll see who comes out of top. Me personally, I think I'm taking Tottenham. I think they're going to need it more. I don't know. There's something weird about Liverpool right now. I actually think Tottenham played decent. They never really threatened the goal against Arsenal outside of the mistake by Raya and the penalty, I guess. But I don't remember Raya really making a save, if I'm being honest. Too many saves. He was incredible in the air. Don't get me wrong. He was claiming crosses left and right at the end of that game.
Incredible with his feet.
He was incredible with his feet and had 1 mistake. So I think, tough for them. They face a better side. Liverpool is a better side, but they're definitely not showing that through form. So I like Tottenham here. Interested mostly, honestly, mostly I'm interested about this game. That starting lineup for Liverpool. Are we going to see Salah back in the starting 11 after the little tiff that he had with Jurgen Klopp? Klopp looked downtrodden in that post-game interview afterwards. He was in the dumps, bro. So
I mean, bro, he knows he just lost the title.
I get it, but specifically when they're asking about the Salah stuff, I don't know. I'm red flagging it, especially with him leaving, aging squad, or at least aging stars. There might be some fire to that smoke.
Yeah, I mean, either side that loses this is, I believe Liverpool absolutely is mathematically going to be out of the title race. Obviously, they're barely grasping at straws right now as it is. Tottenham, if they lose, I mean, you have some games in hand, but that drops your gap on Aston Villa to something that, with only 2 games after this, would be rather insurmountable. So huge game is a understatement for this one, both Liverpool and Tottenham.
Really quickly, thoughts on again, some more Twitter discourse. I stay on Twitter with our Footy with the Voice podcast. A lot of Tottenham fans out there saying that they'd rather lose the last game of the season and not get into the Champions League than have Arsenal win a title. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'd 100% do that if it was the rival.
That's crazy. Then
That's
the
such a
Champions
small club
League?
mentality, dude.
I know,
That is
bro.
such
No.
That's a flash mentality
So
for sure.
Then
It's
the
not a real
Champions
rivalry. Nick, would you rather have Arsenal in the Champions League if it meant Tottenham wins the Premier League, or you can be the ones to fuck them over and you'll play in Europa League?
No, I'm not the ones to fuck them over. I'm the ones getting fucked over because I'm not playing in the top 4. Forget about the money.
And you're giving them the title.
You're not giving
your
them
rival
shit.
the title.
That
Yes,
is,
you are.
dude. I of course never want to see Spurs win the league, but if Spurs is winning the league, I sure as hell better be in the top 4. Sure as hell.
Yeah, but how damn sweet would it be if you could guarantee that Spurs lose the title on the last day?
That's just a spin zone, baby. That's just me. I'd be completely avoiding questions about top 4, and I'd only be talking shit to Spurs fans. But that's not the actual.
Like the definition
That's not
of spite.
actually what I want to happen. That is loser mentality.
I don't know. I think it's very tough to have your rival win the league there, and you be the reason why by dropping their title race component there.
Just for
I
the
don't know.
money alone. Just for the money alone, bro. The boost that you get and the type of players you can recruit for being in the
Listen,
top
I'm not
four.
saying it's a bad thing to be in Champions League. I would want to be in Champions League, but I think there's a part of me that'd be like, fuck, I really don't want Tottenham to win the title because of us. If the situation's flipped, I feel like you can't be the ones that give the title to your rival.
Yeah.
Flags
And then
is
you're
such
sitting
a
on your
toxic
couch
fan,
watching
bro.
soccer on Thursday. And
Yeah,
every
bro.
time the
I've
game
had
comes on, you go, "Oh, thank God Arsenal didn't win last year."
I've had like
Sure
3 or
enough,
4 years
Thursdays.
of Thursday football, bro. And let me tell you, it's just a bad place to be. Like no one wants
I
to
don't
be
know.
sitting there on Thursday after
And
all
games
the
at the same
exciting
time.
things. Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. No shot. I'd never want to experience it again.
All right, well, let us know in the comments what you think. Are you as petty as I am, where you just don't want any success for your rival, even if it means at the detriment of your own? Or would you rather just get into the Champions League and help your rival to a trophy that they desperately want, and you do as well? But we'll move on. Let us know in the comments. We move on to Chelsea versus West Ham here. Loser is going to be out of the Europe race. Neither of these teams are, now I was going to say overly consistent. Consistent. You don't need to sugarcoat it at all. They're just not consistent teams. Two teams from London will be fighting here for a massive game. I'd want to say that West Ham should come out on top based off of how they've played at certain stretches of the year. Chelsea, I think, has shown some potential. But like we say, they always have these lapses. And Mike, as you said, if they just took away those lapses, they'd be really good. But they always have the lapses. West Ham just seem to shit the bed against some teams, even Everton being included. What do you see coming out of this one, Mike? Who do you see being the one that can maybe show their form more in this one?
I'd give it to Chelsea. West Ham did manage to get a result against Liverpool past weekend, a 2-2. But right before that, they got shit on by Crystal Palace. They got beat 5-2 and really dominated. The result against Liverpool, good, but Liverpool's really falling apart right now. No sort of confidence. It's not the same team we've seen most of the season. I think Chelsea's in a little bit better form. Both these teams, glaring issues up and down the field, inconsistent, not convincing management, whether that's Moyes or Pochettino. But I do like Chelsea. They have a bigger test before they play West Ham, though. They play Tottenham on Thursday. So before we see the Tottenham-Liverpool matchup, we get a North London derby. Nick, as an Arsenal fan, is the third horse in this race. What do you think you'll see here? And which out of these two teams would you take to get the result?
For sure, Chelsea's not in the north. I think they're the west of London, but a London derby nonetheless.
Or the West, yeah. Pride of the West.
That is true.
I hope they both lose. They both are horrible. They're terrible. They're frauds. And if they could each get like, I don't know, a 0-0 goal with a 0-0 result with 2 missed penalties would be pretty funny. I'd like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like Tottenham should come out with a bit more fire than Chelsea, but
Tottenham should do a lot of things.
Tottenham should do a lot of things. Chelsea
do a
should
lot.
do a lot of things. It's a shit show on different levels, though. I think Tottenham is a high performing shit show. Chelsea is just your average run of the mill shit show.
Tottenham's what you call a functioning alcoholic.
Yes, Tottenham are the functioning alcoholic of the Premier League. Chelsea are just your drunk uncle. So we'll see what happens there. It's always going to be an entertaining bout there. Mike?
Right before we leave Chelsea West Ham, there was a question or a sentence you guys put on our sheet here. European qualification is up for the grabs here. Don't think either team's going to get it. I'll take Newcastle to get that Conference League spot. Neither of these teams are overly convincing. I think Newcastle's better.
Yeah, but the loser's definitely out.
The loser is definitely out, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe Chelsea would have a chance with those games in hand, but West Ham's done.
Done.
Maybe Bournemouth makes a push from underneath there to get into Europe. The Cherries make their
I'm on
charge
Bournemouth.
there.
Better team than both those other guys.
The mighty Bournemouth. The mighty Bournemouth. We move to the Arsenal title charge update here. That is exactly who Arsenal is playing, is Bournemouth. The Cherries who, man, if you were looking at this matchup, even just 5-6 weeks ago, Arsenal would be feeling like, all right, not a bad matchup going down the final stretch. But Bournemouth have been making their way up the table. And this may prove to be a pretty tough game for Arsenal here. Obviously, Arsenal are on some good form themselves, but is this one, do you think, Nick, that they maybe could be overlooking? Obviously, they're going to have a lot of attention on them and their title charge, but is this a trap game at all for Arsenal?
I get where you're coming from. It does have the feel a little bit of a trap game, but then you look across England and see those guys in baby blue, and you're like, I mean, you can't afford anything. You can't afford a 20-second lapse of concentration. So, no, I don't think so. I think the biggest help with that is going to be that it's at the Emirates. If it was at the Vitality, maybe I'd feel a little different. It's a fun crowd over there for the Cherries. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll test Arsenal's resolve. I'm not expecting like a 5-0 versus some of these crappy teams like Chelsea or anything like that. But I am
There's shot right there.
I'm expecting a good game. I am, though, expecting an Arsenal victory here. It's the best team of these final three that we're facing, at least on how they're playing. They played well against us in the reverse fixture, even though we came away with a pretty comfortable win. So, you can't overlook them. They added Enes Unal in the January transfer window, who I think got his first start last weekend, scored a goal. They're a good team. They have some good players, and they're being coached really well right now. So I think it'll be a good game. I think stylistically it's going to be pretty fun to watch. I think Arsenal will come away with 3 points because they have to come away with 3 points.
Yeah, it's
by the way,
just
my bad. Sorry, really quick. As far as like their form, they are 5th in the league. If just looking at 2024, the calendar year, 5th in the league in earned points. They've had a really, really great turnaround from the first half of the season. Any like lineup stuff? I would love to see Urian Timber in this game. Would love to see Urian Timber. Give him 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and then unleash him on Man U and Everton. Ooh, that keeps me up at night. That is a good thought. He's a special player. I'm excited to add him to the back line here soon, and I hope it's sooner rather than later.
You want to see him at left back?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, give me Zinchenko at left back for Arsenal here.
Shut up.
An absolute star in his own right. I love Zinchenko. Not necessarily he's had the greatest form, but I do think he's quite the player. We move to Zinchenko's former team, Manchester City, and they're going to be playing Wolves. It's another shot that Man City could drop points. We're all hoping for it. Wolves, could they be the ones to do it? We go to our producer, our resident Wolves fan, Palmer. What's happening in this one?
Best team in the league, best logo in the league. Hear me out here, boys. All right, I'm gonna bring you down a little stroll here. In the past couple games that our mighty Wolves have played, all right, we beat Luton 2-1, and we lost to Bournemouth 0-1. We also lost to Arsenal. Not a lot of good stuff is going on here.
Where are you going with it? And
I'll tell you why.
Land the plane.
And I'll tell you why. This is because we are coveting our tactics. We are holding on to the sacred lineup that we've been waiting to use
Close to chest
for this game. Because our manager, I don't know his name, our manager is a true believer in the sport.
Gary O'Neill.
In the sport, in the players, and in the passion that is football. And he knows that this Man City team cannot be allowed to win another game, another league.
Good God, look at that win percentage.
Another game.
This cannot be allowed to stand. And for that, he has been just holding on to this game and getting our boys ready for this game and no other game. And for that, I say we're gonna fucking win it. We're at least gonna draw.
Yeah.
We're at least gonna draw. It's at least a
Facts.
draw.
That's all.
Agreed,
That's
100%.
all Arsenal would need.
Fuck
is
yeah,
a
Beautiful
draw.
analysis. Beautiful analysis.
Thank you.
Wolves here. You heard it first from our insider. They have been saving their strats for Man City. I will say that Man City has been a bit of counter-stratted recently with the 4-2-4 formation against them.
Might I remind you
It's been
who
working
gave Man City
awfully
their
well.
first
Real
loss?
Madrid kind of provided that blueprint.
You guys gave them the first loss. Could be their last loss of the season as well.
Just putting that out there.
Come on,
That-
boys.
That's a storyline right there, if I've ever heard one. We chase those storylines around here. Cross our fingers for our dear friends at Wolves there. They took Nunez, but they cannot take the title. Wolves on. I don't know what they're saying is, but
I think you're just supposed to
You
like
have to howl.
to woof. Yeah, you're supposed to like howl or woof or something. like
woof. Do wolves woof?
that. Sure, dude.
Yeah, probably.
What do you think they meow?
That's how they howl. Maybe the best word for it, but you know what?
Wolf.
We'll go with bark.
Woof.
Oh, wolf.
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 You see that video? The
All right.
fucking the husky that like does an audible woof. Like,
yeah,
sounds it
yeah,
out.
dude. That dog's sick.
From dogs that are sick to predictions that are sick.
Hold on, I
move
didn't mean
into our-
sick dog. Gotta relax.
No, I meant
Jesus
sick as in cool. Jesus.
I
bro.
know,
Like,
but that's not what it sounded like. Let me tell you.
No, you're not
Dog
sick
on a
if you don't
skateboard?
understand it. Dog on a skateboard? Hell yeah.
Did you guys see?
Top four.
Did you guys see that governor or whatever from South Dakota who like wrote a book? She wants to be Trump's vice president or something. She wrote a
Oh,
book talking about how she killed her dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy, bro.
And I saw an
The fuck?
article that showed that she was now out of the running to be his vice president. I
What?
saw it.
Good call. Good call.
Got no dogs in the race there. Huh?
You shoot your dog, don't brag about it. That's moral of the story.
Rule number one:
What's-
politics. We are learning about sports and politics on this pod.
What's worse, shooting your dog or writing a book about you shooting your dog?
Definitely the
On the
latter.
Definitely the
stupidity
book,
scale,
dude.
it's definitely
Definitely the
writing the
book.
book about it.
Unless you make it a
We've
classic
already
like
read
Old
Old
Yeller.
Yeller, dude. We
Yeah.
don't need the sequel. Yeah. Good shout, Palmer. Great minds.
Great minds.
I never read it.
Great minds. We move into our top four and bottom three predictions here. We will start with my own. I am sadly predicting that Manchester City, they are the Thanos of the Premier League. I believe that they're going to finish on top as
Wait,
our
should
champions.
Should I do a thing for this?
Nah,
Just
we got it
now.
here.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
got it.
Man City in first. They're going to be the champions. Arsenal in a close second. Liverpool pretty much locked into third at this point. And then Villa in fourth. I think they hold off Spurs. My bottom three, I think it's going to be Sheffield. That's already guaranteed. Burnley, they have a pretty tough schedule. And then I do think it's going to be Luton as well. They also do not have as favorable as a schedule as I believe Nottingham has. So I believe the three that were promoted are going to be going down. Mike, what changes from me do you have here?
Yeah, unfortunately, City as well, followed by the Gunners and then Pool. But I have Tottenham rounding out my top four. Do I think it's super likely? No, I would think Villa is definitely favored. But looking at their games remaining, they could do it. It's achievable. So I'll give it to them. Why not? In my bottom three, Sheffield, bottom. Burnley, like Burnley's fight, just don't think they'll have enough. Tough couple of games remaining. And then Nottingham. I think Luton will survive and Nottingham will go down, is my prediction.
Now, if Gio Reyna has anything to say about it.
All right,
Nick,
Cody. Forrest.
What did you have on tap for us here?
You already know who's up top. The Gunners to win the first Premier League for us in over 20 years now. So shout out to the Gunners for getting it done. City in second, Pool in third. I'm going Villa in fourth. I think if Arsenal win the title and Villa don't finish top four, that's just, cherry on top of the cake. Pretty good right there. As far as the bottom 3, I don't know. There's just something about Burnley that I'm believing as of late. They haven't lost in 3 games. I think it's the Great Escape. I really do. I trust Vincent Kompany more than I trust the other managers. I don't know. Something about them. They were fun to watch against Man U. So I'm gonna take Burnley out of the zone. Sheffield at the bottom, of course. Going Luton, who's kind of dropped off in form lately, and just because I don't want to see him in the Prem anymore, Nottingham relegated.
A bold Burnley pick. They have
Let's go
Newcastle
Burnley.
and Tottenham as their next 2 games, so that may be a tough
Just
one.
something I like. Just something I like. I think they've had some
Just
fight
something
lately.
I like.
I think they get 2 points out of those games. I really do.
Yeah, I mean that may be
Enough.
no, it wouldn't be enough. They do need more than 2 points. But their
Well, who do
last
they play in the
game,
last game?
their last game
That's
against
Nottingham.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can
So that-
lose both those games and beat Nottingham and get out.
Nottingham Forest
That'd be
does play
insane.
Sheffield United next, though.
Yeah, they're
So-
gonna draw that game.
Blades will cut them up.
Luton Town plays the mighty Everton, and then they have West Ham and Fulham. So they don't have any easy matchups, as they have a very tough Everton, and then 2 mid-table sides there. But we will see. We'll check in with this. We also did a start of the season prediction as well, so we'll have to check in with all of that here at the end of the season. See what we're going with for that. Let's get into the rest of the Premier League rundown for previews. Palace is going to be going up against Manchester United. I am rather confident that Palace will win this one against Manchester United. The way that they've been playing recently, combined with the way that Manchester United have been playing recently, I don't see how Manchester United could win this, but that is how Manchester United win all their games, is playing god-awful and Scott McTominay scoring in the 89th minute. So this will be an entertaining watch there, just for
6-1
the
Crystal Palace.
result-wise. 6-1. I fucking love it. Let's go for
Oliver
that all day.
Oliver Glasner is who De Zerbi thinks he is.
You know, we should shout out Mateta. Tucks in his
Dude.
shirt.
Baller.
Oh my god, the man is going crazy.
He's gonna
I
give
gotta
Harry
start tucking in
Maguire
my shirt for
nightmares.
every day. I'm gonna be walking to the grocery store with my shirt tucked in if he can perform like that. Good God. He is
Better
figured out
tuck.
a life hack.
Mateta or Rodri? Who's got the better tuck?
Moment. Well, Rodri has never lost a single game in his life, according to City fans. So
Go with the numbers.
Undefeated all
I don't
time.
know. I don't know how he could possibly not be in the Champions League semifinals since he did not lose to Real Madrid. But
I love that tweet.
still an undefeated streak for our Rodri midfield there. We move to Luton versus Everton. That will be a fun matchup. Everton in some fine form, and Luton will be scraping and clawing with everything they have, because they are kind of in a rut here at the absolute worst time of the season. They know the opportunity that this one presents. Need to get points there for Luton. Everton, they're competing with Luton for a long time. This could be a fun way to just be like, fuck you. And I would love to see it. We go with Brentford and Fulham. Brentford, not maybe needing a win, but certainly you don't want to be this close to the relegation zone, even if you are relatively safe here. Try and get some type of result. I don't think Fulham is an unachievable result here. Get some attacking form. Get some wins before the season ends. Burnley, Newcastle. This was Nick's pick to get out of the relegation zone. They're not far off. They're only 2 points away from that 17th spot in the league here. Obviously, goal differential would factor into that, but if they get a result against Newcastle here, and then they'd have Nottingham Forest in the last game, that Burnley talk is getting awfully real about their chances for survival. Brighton will face off against Villa. Brighton has not been great this season. We've talked about this before. This is a good chance for Villa to lock in that Champions League spot by continuing to win here, but Brighton do face or pose a big problem for Aston Villa, because they still do have talent, still can be a top side. We'll see what type of Brighton comes out here. If they can score a goal, that would be maybe the first hurdle for them there. And then we have Sheffield versus Nottingham Forest. It is shit versus poop in this one, and we will see who comes out on top.
Let's go. Poop.
Honestly,
Come
I
on,
hope
Blades.
that Gio Reyna gets the start here. so that he can hopefully cook some stuff up here. But man, if you're Nottingham Forest, this is the must win of your season. This is the biggest game that you will have your entire year. This is potentially survival on the line versus objectively the worst team in the Premier League. If they don't win this game, you don't deserve to be in the Premier League. It is as simple as
Facts.
that. Take your 1 point lead, make it 4, get some type of breathing room. If you don't, you deserve to go down. Let's move in to our U.S. men's national team corner. I already talked about Gio Reyna and potential Austin Trusty start in that Sheffield United Nottingham Forest game. But Haji, as I just had a slip of the tongue, is our main topic of the day. Haji Wright. Boys, he has 22 goal contributions this season in the championship, 16 goals. This man is on fire. On fire is maybe an understatement. Both him and Josh Sargent are absolutely tearing up the championship. Would you like to see Haji Wright stick in the championship another year? He's killed it at really every level he's gone through, to Turkey, to the championship now. Is it something that you'd want to see him take another step up to a first flight, a French, a German, even Premier League side? Or is it something that you think, hey, keep him in the championship, keep him scoring goals until the World Cup time?
I don't hate the championship for him. I think it's a good level of competition. Gets to play some bigger teams a few times a year. If you went to a smaller side in the Prem where you could still start or have at least a sizable impact, that would be good. But staying at Coventry, I like it. I think they could probably maybe not fight for promotion next year, but still have a good season.
They're pretty close to promotion. They were last year and
Yeah.
just on the outskirts of
super
the
far off it.
playoff this year. Yeah. But also, congratulations. Leicester City wins the championship. Ipswich Town pretty much wrapped up that they will also get that second automatic promotion spot. Leeds United somewhat choking away that second spot. They're going to be playing against Southampton, which are, I believe, like 4th or 5th right now, and Ipswich will need a single point against Huddersfield, who I believe is in one of the last positions. So that one's all but locked up. There.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah. Nick, would you like to see Josh Sargent and Haji stay in the championship? Do you think that's a good level? Both their teams are rather high up in the table, will have chances to be promoted, and it seems like it's a good situation for them, a good level.
Yeah. Sure. I don't think either of them have the sufficient talent to be locked in starter number 9. No thought about it question. We've had a lot of questions about the number 9, a lot of who should start. So, yeah, I'd rather just keep them in form because if they go to a bigger league, I don't know that they'll be guaranteed minutes, at the very least guaranteed starts. I don't know if they're going to be guaranteed good form as they are in now, so I'd rather keep them confident. And like you said, it is a good level of competition. More than anything, we need to see Flo doing better. He is the guy who has the talent, and he is at a pretty big club. So that is more where my energy in the striker pool is focused on. That being said, if they're confident, it's good for Copa. If either Haji Wright or Josh Sargent is your starting 9 heading into a World Cup, you can't feel good about it, no matter how good a form they're in the championship. So keep them happy for the Copa. They're good options, good squad players, good guys that can give you a spot start, couple of good goal contributions, spark off the bench, whatever you want. But I think if either of them are our starting 9s, we're not that serious of a national team.
I do feel pretty decent with them being an option for that starter or an option off the bench. I do think that if the U.S. is going to compete and actually have an impact in these big tournaments, you do need the talent like a Flo Balogun, or that's really it at the moment in terms of huge club, high talent, high ceiling performer. I think Flo Balogun has to start kind of finding form. He did just get an assist versus Lyon, but got to start bagging some goals here before the summer, before the World Cup, and get himself into some form himself, because form is a hell of a drug for these players. I think Haji and Sargent will both be coming in playing very well, but I do think, like you said, Nick, it is hard to see that the U.S. really making any type of gigantic difference in these tournaments if these are our players and we're just going off of form in the championship rather than some type of higher level. Mike, do you see it that way as well? Just waiting on flow essentially to get into that form, and these guys are pretty good carryovers.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. These guys are serviceable strikers and can do a shift, but they're not tournament winners. They're not star power, where Flo has that potential. Pepe's shown glimpses of it, but I'm not convinced. We need those real star power players to come in and make an impact and be performing on a consistent basis. So yeah, I agree.
Especially at the 9.
Yeah.
Especially at the
The
9.
9, right? You need a
9
diva.
you need.
You need you need someone who's getting goals, winning games, has that charisma about them.
Yeah, you need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net when things maybe aren't going your way. It's how Poland has been able to qualify to so many different events. Gareth Bale, when he was at Wales and playing up top, got them to all the international events.
Zlatan.
Need somebody. Yeah, Zlatan. There's nothing greater than a bicycle kick from about half field versus England. That is just one of the best goals I think possible to score. That'd be like a 5-year-old talking about a goal that they want to score. So we love Zlatan, what he did for Sweden there. We'll move into the locks of the week. I have gone with our boys in Newcastle, and by our boys I mean the ones that we don't really
Hang on,
like.
we got to do.
Newcastle.
Am I muted?
No, you are not. What?
We got to do the. I don't know who won last.
Oh,
week.
we'll do a score update here. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1. Off by 1 goal on both, but gets the right result there for Nick. And the Northland Derby, I said 2-0 to Brighton. That one ends up being, what was the final score? 4-0.
5?
Yeah, so
4. Yeah.
Yeah,
4-4, yep. 1 point. And then Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. Mike, needing the points down the stretch of the season, does not get it. Liverpool let him down. Trusted the Merseyside rival there, and it did not work out for him. Nick, we move over to, or actually, let's update the scores here real quick here, Palmer.
Jeez.
Both me and Nick getting 1 more. Nick moving to 18, I moving to 21. Mike sitting at 15. He will be needing that bonus point from that top 4, bottom 3, as well as some correct scores to get back into this one. But we'll move in, and Nick, we'll start with your lock of the week. Who are you going with? Who are you riding with in this one?
Yeah, I'm going with the Gunners, obviously. I'm gonna say Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 1. I had initially said 2. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it is. When I say 2-1, I don't necessarily to be close the whole time, but I think they'll make a game out of it at some point, either early or late. But yeah, I'm thinking more and more about that Bournemouth defense, and they just don't really have the horses there, and we certainly do in our attack. So I'm gonna go Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 1. I'm impressed by the Cherries form. Again, I'm looking forward to just watching this game and picking up the 3 points.
Yeah, it'll certainly be a good game to watch, certainly with all the title implications and just Bournemouth the way they're playing right now. Put up a challenge. For my lock of the week, I went with Newcastle. I have a 3-1 win over Burnley. Yeah, put that space in there, why don't you? 3-1 over Burnley. I think that Newcastle will score 1. Burnley get an equalizer. They push for a winner, and Newcastle punish them. 3-1 as it ends. Mike, you're needing this one. What are you going with?
Derelegate Burnley?
Yeah, you
Did
can't
we bring
pick
back
Burnley, brother.
Oh, wow. We did not
That is
wow,
a void result. That is a red automatically.
Like
Alright,
maybe
I'll
they
take
should
that
be
right out.
back, but I don't think we ever did. So
No,
I think they
no.
should be back. Can we vote them back?
No, we did not make an announcement to de-relegate
You can
them.
vote for them to
Hey,
win.
you just predicted them to be out of the bottom 3.
You can vote for them to win.
yeah,
You can take them to win.
You
if
can
want.
call Burnley to win.
you can.
I'll take. Fuck it.
Or you can
I'll
take the
Burnley
draw.
to win then. I'll take Burnley 1-0 over Newcastle.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
If this hits,
Love
if this hits, you win.
Dude, yeah,
Like there's
for
no,
sure.
we don't have to keep going.
Auto win.
If you hit
Come
this
on,
scoreline 1-0,
AJ
it's
Watt.
over.
Come on, Vincent Company. All right, Mike, what are you going with here? The comeback
Mike,
needs
you need
to
some
start
points.
here.
You need points, bud.
I feel dirty doing it, but I'm taking Man City 3, Wolves 1. I feel like I'm contributing to Man City's
You fool. That's a
reign of
red.
terror.
I am
You know what
I
I
am
should've- I
ecstatic
should've
that Mike
predicted Man
made this
City
pick. I'm ecstatic Mike made this pick. This is a good omen.
This is a good omen. It would be
Dude,
better
I'd
if
be
Flags
probably
made it.
more happy if
Power.
Man City lost. Like,
It'd be better if Flags made it, but Mike taking is good.
I don't know. Mike has done pretty well at
I want a
fucking
stinker.
fucking up his predictions. Yeah.
No form,
has
dude.
one-
No form.
Mike has 1 point in his previous 4 predictions, so
Yikes.
Like Sheffield,
and
baby.
two in his previous 6. Mike is
Yikes.
hitting
That's a
rough
whole
stretch
lot of red.
form.
I donated my form to Everton, dude. Did it
Nice.
Did
Yeah.
it for the team. Did it for the
facts.
Toffs.
I will say,
They love to
I
see
forgot
it.
to say it last week. But again, soon as Mike gets critical, Toffee's turned it around. That's called accountability, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm gonna be
fucking lose
sad.
versus Luton. It's terrible. We suck. God. Fuck. Palmer, we move to you with your question of the week, and I gotta say, I'm excited to hear what you got on tap for us.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys. I actually came up with this question a little earlier in this very pod.
Oh.
Wow, fresh.
I
Sounds
don't
like you
remember.
were unprepared.
Unprepared?
I've got other questions, but I thought this one up, and I thought it would be. It was well timed, I guess. It's appropriate
Sure.
for this week of football. Arsenal needs wins. Arsenal, as Nick mentioned earlier, cannot lose focus for a single moment of their next few games. This one's more directed at Nick. But, boys, if you were brought into the locker room at Arsenal and found out that they were juicing up their players to keep them focused, I don't know, maybe snorting lines, whatever they need to get to
Well,
stay
hey.
focused for a whole 90 minutes of these next few games. Would you be okay with it? Would you say anything? How would that go down
No.
in your brain?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I would say, do some more. It's not enough. You're gonna fucking lose to City if you don't
Line
do
'em up.
more.
You know what I say, man? Good enough for Maradona. Good enough for me. Let's go play
I
some
think
football.
I think it literally proved to be bad enough for Maradona. I think it's
For a
over
while.
there.
It catches up to you, eh?
Hey, yeah, listen. As long as they're just doing it down the stretch here, as long as it means they beat out Man City and do everything they can too, I say let's load them up.
I would
Okay.
definitely not say anything until we win the title. I think I'd have to say something eventually.
Would
No,
would,
no, you
uh,
wouldn't.
Listen,
You would put an
115
asterisk next
charge
to Arsenal's
versus one
Premier League?
charge. Like,
would
Is
when
cocaine
you
even a
won
banned substance?
when you won the title, would
yes.
would it forever have a little asterisk in your head?
Huh? No, no. There's no asterisk
I
in
would-
sports.
If Everton next year took copious amounts of cocaine before every single game, and they were just went on
hard.
an absolute tear, won it all. And I was the only person that knew, there wouldn't be a fucking single soul that knew about that. I would just be saying, what wonderful tactics by Sean Dyche. The boys just look really rearing to go. the frothing of the mouth. I don't know. Maybe they're just really excited to play. Shit, I don't know.
See, I'm gonna call you out because we would 100% release it as an exclusive on this pod, and that's how we blow up.
Very true. Very
Like,
true.
that is how we make it.
Inside Everton's locker room and why they won the Premier League.
Dude, if Everton was on cocaine, it'd be so clear. You'd see Beto with a nosebleed, and he'd actually be alert going to the ball. You'd be like, something's amok. This guy is clueless.
Alert.
This guy's dialed.
There's fuckery afoot.
Going back to Arsenal, if I saw Gabriel on cocaine, I'd be terrified. And I'd be surprised if Benny Blanco isn't already on a little something. Let's be honest here.
Can we not just
Look at
toss
that
out
guy.
accusations of cocaine usage? Like, that seems dangerous.
He said
Nick,
something.
this is how you get subscribers.
It's in the name.
Give an inside story.
This is the fake news I warned my students about. Like,
Why
this
do you
is-
think his last name is White? Suspect, if you ask me.
Sus.
Because he likes to ski, dude.
He's going skiing all right. I'll tell you that much. I would, if it came out, Nick, tomorrow that there was a huge scandal that Ben White was doing cocaine before games. Would you be that shocked, or would you just be like, yeah, fuck?
Ben White
That makes
is the
sense.
chillest dude around. I would 100% be shocked.
But just off appearance, man.
This is so
Like
messed
same
up.
with
the
like
pod.
Jack Grealish.
End
Jack
the pod.
Grealish as
End the
well.
pod.
He's kind of like, yeah.
You're crazy, man.
Because you know what I do to get ready for a game? I put on my shinnies, I pull up my socks, and I take a line of ketamine straight to the head. Let's go, lads. Oh, man.
Can we
Almost
get
set of
enough
teeth
the
on that guy.
Gunners? Those veneers are strong over there.
Sure are. He's been to Turkey.
Not
Unnatural.
quite as good as Firmino, but listen, that's comparing to a goat. That might be an unfair comparison. That is a wonderful way to end this pod on
Is it?
a rational note. Yeah. Mike, I hate to hand it off to you to be the one to have to calm down the pod as we end, but let's see what you got.
Luton on Friday for the Evertonians. Good luck. Good luck, Luton. Fight hard, but don't fight too hard. We'd like to get a win. Up the title race. Up Arsenal. Up the Gunners. Up Barcelona, even though Xavi's staying. Check us out on all socials. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, but not really. Just what you like. Nick, take us away.
3 games to glory. We're gonna need a favor from someone. Big Ange, Gary O'Neill, I forget who else. A couple of managers. You can become a legend in Arsenal circles. You can go down in history with just a draw. Who is gonna step up? Who's gonna take down the criminals, the crooks that are Man City? 3 games to go. Up the Arsenal. I got visions of glory in my eyes.
Yep. Nick, you said it best. There is glory or agony on the other side of these 3 games. Nothing is guaranteed. But what is guaranteed is that if we hit 100 subscribers by the next week, Nick will miss his anniversary dinner to do the pod with us. Everybody subscribe if you're not already. Let him know if the podcast or his marriage is more important. 100 subscribers will tell him that the pod is. See you next time, boys.
I ain't gonna be
Sorry,
there.
Hannah.
I ain't